Breaking update: new DVLA rules introduced as drivers face fresh fines this week. Before you start your engine today, stop and listen, because drivers across the UK are being fined this week without even realising they've broken the law. New DVLA rules have just come into force, enforcement has already ramped up, and a simple mistake with your licence, eyesight, or vehicle tax could cost you hundreds of pounds or even your right to drive. What's most alarming? Many drivers affected had no warning at all. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll explain exactly what's changed and how to make sure you're not the next one caught out. If you're a driver in the UK, this is one of those updates you cannot afford to ignore. Over the past few days, the DVLA has rolled out new rules that are already catching drivers off guard, and the consequences are serious. We're talking about real fines, penalty points, and even license revocations all happening right now. What makes this especially worrying is that many people don't realize they're affected until it's too late. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's changed, who it impacts, and what you need to check today to stay legal on the road. One of the biggest changes affects license renewals. Drivers are being reminded that holding an expired license is not a minor mistake, it's a criminal offense. If your license has expired and you're still driving, you could face fines of up to £1,000, penalty points, and in some cases even insurance invalidation. Many drivers assume the DVLA will automatically remind them, but that doesn't always happen. The responsibility is entirely on you to check your expiry date and renew on time. For older drivers, the rules are now much stricter. If you're over 70, simply declaring that you're fit to drive is no longer enough in many cases. The DVLA is increasing scrutiny around medical fitness, particularly eyesight, diabetes, neurological conditions, and heart-related issues. Drivers may now be required to provide medical evidence from a GP or optician before a renewal is approved. Ignoring this or failing to report a relevant condition could result in your license being revoked, and driving after that point could lead to prosecution. Eyesight rules are also being actively enforced. You must be able to read a standard number plate from 20 meters, with glasses or contact lenses if required. Police roadside checks are increasingly including eyesight tests, and failing one can result in immediate penalties. That means fines, points on your license, and in serious cases, an instant driving ban. If you haven't had your eyes tested recently, this is something you should not delay. Another major update that's catching drivers off guard is the move toward digital driving licenses. While physical licenses are still valid for now, more drivers are being transitioned to digital records. This means your license details, endorsements, and status are being checked electronically more often. If your information isn't up to date, such as your address or medical status, enforcement officers can see that instantly. Outdated details can lead to fines, delays, or even license suspension. There's also a fresh crackdown on uninsured driving linked directly to license and tax status. If your license has expired or your vehicle tax is invalid, your insurance may be automatically voided. That means a routine stop could suddenly turn into a much bigger issue, including court action and a criminal record. Learner drivers aren't being spared either. New rules around driving test bookings and cancellations are now being enforced more strictly. If you cancel a practical test without enough notice, you will lose your fee. This is part of a wider effort to reduce waiting times, but it means learners must plan far more carefully than before. Mistakes that used to be forgiven are now costing people real money. What makes all of this especially serious is the timing. Enforcement has increased this week, and DVLA-linked checks are being carried out more frequently by police and automated systems. Cameras, ANPR technology, and roadside stops are all being used to identify drivers who are non-compliant, often without them even realizing until it's too late. So what should you do right now? First, check your driving license expiry date and renewal status. Second, make sure your address and personal details are fully up to date with the DVLA. Third, book an eye test if you haven't had one recently. Fourth, confirm your vehicle tax is active, especially if you drive an electric car. And finally, if you have any medical condition that could affect driving, make sure it has been properly declared. These updates aren't about scaring drivers, they're about compliance. But failing to act could cost you hundreds of pounds, points on your license, or even your right to drive. So before you drive anywhere else this week, take a moment and make sure everything is in order. Check your license, check your eyesight, check your vehicle tax, and make sure your details with the DVLA are fully up to date. These new rules aren't warnings anymore, they're being enforced, and drivers across the country are already paying the price. If you found this update helpful, make sure you share it with someone who drives, because this could save them from a fine or worse. Stay informed, drive safe, and I'll keep bringing you the latest updates as they happen.